Okay, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. So, we have yet another balloon that is over the United States, which I find is very interesting. It's like we're taking a repeat of 2013 all over again. Whoops, the moon landing is not going on. That was last night. There we go. So we have this new balloon. Preacher's in here. Veronica, Toyota. Hello, hello, hello. See you guys up in the YouTube chat. So we have this balloon. Okay, we have a balloon now. I think these are photos from the one last year. Now they did intercept. So NORAD did scramble fighter jets here. They scrambled what was believed to be F-16 fighter jets. And according to officials, it did not pose a threat to national security. So this is kind of interesting that NORAD had basically intercepted this high altitude balloon and then determined it to not be a threat. What we do know is that it was flying between 43,000 and 45,000 feet. Typically a balloon. So for those who don't know, I used to do a thing with an organization I ran called Space Track. And it was, we would send up these very large balloons, like weather balloons. We film with helium, whatever the case is. You could do hydrogen too. And typically they go up. They don't float and sit there at 43 to 45,000 feet. Typically, they'll go up to their pop point of 120 to 130,000 feet. They pop, and then you collect your case of instruments. We'd have a GPS tracker in there. We'd have cameras, could be GoPro, whatever. Now, what we do know is that this was supposedly carrying a payload that is the size of 2 cubic feet. So it was supposedly carrying a payload of a size of 2 cubic feet, and the balloon was about 50 feet tall. Now, it says it is not known what the payload might be carrying, the official did say, and that in close coordination with the FAA and the NORAD, which is the North American Aerospace Defense Command, they detected a small balloon at an altitude varying between the 45,000 foot level, and that the balloon was intercepted by NORAD fighters over Utah, who determined it was not maneuverable and did not present a threat to national security. So, according to the government, their interpretation is that because it cannot move on its own, it doesn't pose a threat. What that means is that it determined it was not maneuverable and did not present a threat to national security. So in the eyes of the government, as long as you have a spy balloon over, as long as it doesn't have a propeller or wings to kind of help steer it, then it can collect all the data it wants. That's what we are getting at here. Mr. Jetpack's in here. Hello. Preacher, I see you guys up in the YouTube chat. We're on TikTok as well. Now, CBS also had this up. CBS had it up here and saying that they're actively tracking this, and its presence prompted enough concern that the command sent aircraft to investigate. Obviously, the official told CBS News that the balloon appeared to be made out of mylar. So they got close enough to determine what it could be possibly made of. Now, this 2 cubic foot, so a cubic foot is about this. So it has a payload of probably about this. So it's got a payload of about this. I'm not going to say anything, but, in theory, there could be a lot that could be held within this box. You could have explosives. You could have tracking software. You could have cameras. You could have, there's a lot that you could hold within a 2 cubic foot range. Like a head is almost a cubic foot, maybe a little bit wider, and it will be a cubic foot. So obviously there has to be something. The last one used an American ISP, yes. I believe that it would try to use cellular. I don't know this, like, the full out what the last one used, but I do know that it did have communications with a American-based internet service provider. What a crock. Tina goes ridiculous. Veronica goes pretty fishy. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting here. And when you start looking at like ADSB Exchange and you start seeing all the different maps here that we have. And so right now it should be pretty much over. If that was over Utah when they intercepted, it would be over Colorado and stuff. And we can see military wise, they have a Texan 2 out. I think this is another Texan 2. And then they have some fighter jets. Well, T-38s. Those are your trainer jets. And some Beechcraft. But the big thing is that you need to really see is, I'm going to pull up the Pivotal and I'm going to show you the jet streams that they're talking about. AT&T, yeah. A lot of people are talking about the AT&T stuff and now this. So this is our 500 millibar. This is typically where we would start to see even portions of that 300. So we can see that we have a lot of wind here, about 135 knots. We can even take a look here on the HRRR. The 500 jet, you're going to start seeing, if it's over Colorado right now, it's probably going to come down and around here. It's probably going to come down. It's going to swoop down over Arkansas, maybe cut through Oklahoma, come through Arkansas, and then ride that Tennessee and most likely Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama border, possibly push it out to Georgia, or it may come back up through the Carolinas and then go out. It is still flying, Tony, yes. I got a feeling it's just an upgraded Chinese air balloon. Yeah, so this is the 500 jet. What we're going to see is we're going to see that balloon. That, mind you, that balloon is right over here right now. It's probably right over in this area. And then we're going to see it probably get pushed down over Oklahoma City, come through Little Rock. And then that balloon's going to most likely come out. It may get pushed and get knocked off balance around the Georgia-Alabama line and then go out into the Atlantic Ocean. But they don't want to shoot it down, you know, because in the eyes of NORAD here, this was ABC News. In the eyes of NORAD, they don't want to shoot it down because it's not maneuverable, so it doesn't pose a national security risk. So in the eyes of the government, you can send anything you want up, a giant-ass balloon in the middle of airspace, but as long as it's not maneuverable, then it doesn't pose a national threat, is how NORAD is treating this. NORAD is treating that because it says the balloon was intercepted by NORAD fighters over Utah who determined it was not maneuverable and did not present a threat to national security. So because it did not have wings or a propeller that could be maneuverable, therefore it's not a risk to our national security. You know, is this not so last year, or what are they really distracting us from? Who ordered Chinese food? So, you know, and that's the big thing, is that this is the exact same thing that happened last year. The difference is this one's much closer to the ground. This one is between 43 and 45,000 feet. The last one was at 65,000 plus feet.
Left foot that wouldn't heal. Caused by the Chicago
I'm sorry, I didn't know there was an ad playing. My bad. I didn't even realize because I'm not listening to it. So, you know, this is the exact same thing that happened last year with the Chinese spy balloon. And it's around this exact same time. So, this is a yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was an ad playing in the background. It's the exact same thing that happened last year, except this time this balloon is much closer to the ground. This one is 43 to 45,000 feet, whereas last year, it was 65,000 plus feet. I'd be a little more concerned about something closer to the ground that's much closer to airspace than something way, way, way up there. So it's going to be over Oklahoma and Colorado probably within the next 4 to 8 hours. And like we were talking, it's going to be riding the jet stream is what it's going to do. It's going to be riding just jet stream. It's most likely right in this area right now. And it's going to slowly ride this jet stream down and come out. Now, it could get pushed a lot further south because of the storms that we could have coming up here in a couple days. But I would definitely say we're going to see this over Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, possibly South Carolina, and even the tip of Florida up here on the very top. And it's going to get pushed out over the Atlantic. We can see military jet-wise, they have a couple Texans out there in Colorado right now. But they're only at, one's at 11,000 feet, the other's at 24,000 feet. So, not much military's involvement. They're probably just tracking it right now. We do know there's an air refueler coming from Hawaii at 35,000 feet, but that's not anything new. And there's no TFRs put in place, so Colorado, all the planes are flying as normal and nominal. But military-wise, we're not seeing anything really on radar. They did scramble the F-16s, though, a little bit earlier today. They scrambled F-16s. How did it sneak in again? It wasn't spotted until Utah. It's fine. If an EMP goes off, it's fine. It's all fine. You'd think by now we'd have a special balloon popper, like a Looney Tunes Acme balloon popper. That's funny, Chris. That is absolutely funny. How did they deem it's not a threat? So the way they determined it's not a threat is because it's not maneuverable. They view it as long as it cannot be manipulated remotely, it doesn't pose a threat to national security whatsoever. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. They just come right over. That's effing crazy. Yeah, that's what they do, though. That is what they do. It just flies over all California. Californians, they're over there like, I don't see a thing. I don't know how you can fly a balloon over one of the most populated. Preacher's been a channel member for 4 months. Look at that. Preacher, thank you for being a channel member for so long. Thank you, thank you. You know, it shocks me that California, you got the Bay, San Francisco Bay, you got Salinas, you got Los Angeles, you got San Diego, all this, and they're like, I don't see a thing. How do you not see a giant balloon at that point, probably 30,000 feet up? I don't know how you don't see that. I don't know how a pilot didn't see that. You know, it's 50 feet tall. It's 50 feet tall. That's pretty tall for a balloon. Exactly, Kristen. It could be a threat, but they're saying, well, NORAD looked at it. It's got a payload of 2 cubic feet, so it's got a payload of about yay wide, yay tall. You know, it's a big box, basically. Anything could be in that box. So why is it so close? What is it, and where are they going? And what is it, and why are they putting it that close? Wow, no, they have not confirmed where it's at, no. There's no technical pictures. There's a lot of pictures of the Chinese one being used because it looks similar. What we do know is that we know it's over, like, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. It's right in this general area here. It's right over this general area. And so they're trying to keep it hush-hush. They're really not wanting to make this a big deal. Maybe it has some things we don't have yet or understand. I wonder if they scan it with infrared to see if it's emitting any heat from a CPU or anything. Infrared, you know, you could do a spectrum scanner, spectrum analyzer on it and see if it has any frequencies coming in or out. How long has it been up that you're aware of? We were made aware of it today. It's probably been up for at least a week now, and no one knew until early this morning. Deshaun, there could be storms, there could not be. It really depends on what's going to happen. We have a lot of strong jet streams, which this one's it. The balloon itself with this jet stream is going to most likely come down Arkansas, go through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Now, from there, it could go up into the Carolinas, or it could start to hit the Atlantic or even touch the tip of Florida at the very top, which we don't know. So happy. Thank you. Maddie, thank you. So we have lots, not saying not a threat, saying because it's not not worth it politically to shoot down. You know, that's the thing. They waited till last time for it to go all over the United States and then shoot it down instead of, you know, Colorado is a great place to shoot it down. Colorado is a perfect place. Same with Oklahoma. It's wide open. You know, you don't got to worry about a populated city with this box coming down, but they rather just let it go. Well, it's not maneuverable, so... Hello, the world we once knew is now FUBAR. Hello. That would be the coolest job, to be the balloon detective. But if I was the detective, I'm calling to down it. Could be a bomb that's waiting for impact. We're doomed to get right with God. Colorado, Oklahoma area. Yep, Landon, exactly. Exactly. Colorado is pretty popular outside of cities. I mean, we have the Pinyon Canyon maneuver site. You can shoot it down there. There's a lot of open land down and around there. Another balloon, yes. Another balloon. Another balloon, yes. Why would it be so low? I mean, typically, you're going to see these weather balloons. They go up 80,000 plus feet. That's why the China balloon at 65,000 feet was a concern. This one's at 43,000 feet. Going between 43 and 45,000 feet. I hope the Case Bonita is safe. Sounds like a great test of the airborne laser. Right, Ferris? Right? Which is the closest airport to this balloon? I mean, probably Colorado Springs. Probably Colorado Springs. I mean, besides all the small municipal airports. The attachments can be... I mean, you can attach a lot to a balloon. You can attach a lot inside of this 2-foot cubic payload. That's a big thing. You can attach a ton. You can attach a ton of stuff within this 2-foot cubic payload that they claim is not a threat whatsoever. They're claiming it's not a threat. It could be from China for all we know. It could have some sort of new virus in it. It could have a biological weapon. It could have a chemical weapon. You know, you could really have a lot of weird stuff in this payload, and it's just going over the United States. I treat anything that's foreign as a threat. Anything that is unidentified, doesn't have the proper licensing, no one knows what it is, and it's flying over millions of people, that's a threat. That's a threat. Yeah, that's most definitely a threat. You know, we don't know what's in it. Now, I'm not saying that the government should know everything about everything and everyone, but if you're going to have this go across the United States, God only knows what could be inside of there. Randy goes, EMP is a threat. I mean, EMPs could always be a threat for sure, but I would really expect an EMP to be much closer to the ground. Why aren't they shooting it down? Because they view it's not a threat. They say it's not maneuverable, so therefore it's not a threat. That's their words. Their words is that the balloon was intercepted by NORAD fighters over Utah who determined it was not maneuverable and therefore did not present a threat to national security. So, it's weird. It's weird. No pics yet, Veronica. Yeah, there's no pics. So, they don't want to shoot it down because they say it's not a threat. I don't know, guys. Wouldn't you treat it as a threat? It could be, Connie. Yes, it could be. The F-22 about to get a second air kill. Yeah. China is testing us, that's for sure, I think. Is that, or it's part of North Korea's new missile launch agency, you know? They gotta get started somehow with the balloon. Wild. I don't know. I don't know. It was spotted this morning, and it was spotted over Utah. NORAD scrambled fighter jets, and this is what they found was a 50-foot balloon with a 2 cubic foot payload. and it's not maneuverable, and they say it appears to be made out of mylar. Yes, it's floating in the air, and it's going to hit the jet stream. It's going to hit the jet stream here. So it's up in here. So this jet stream is going to come down through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, possibly South Carolina, and Florida. And this balloon is going to be pushed and basically ride right over these states here and possibly into Florida before it goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you, Wild. It might be my fishing app satellite. They said the last one was also innocent until they didn't, right? Right? It's still collecting information. For all we know, it has a new virus or a disease in it, and it's just slowly pushing out, and it's just dropping. That's weird to think that, but stranger things are known to man. Stranger things are known to man. Grace, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, what made them shoot the last one down between the two? Well, I mean, last one, it had a little bit of a bigger payload, and the media was all over them, and pretty much the media was told not to make a big mountain out of a molehill with this. So, like, yeah, you can report on it, just keep it down low, you know? We're watching it. It is my corn. Oh, God. You live in Utah, Rhonda? Yeah, I flew right over Utah. I was last seen in Colorado right now, taking out cell phone coverage while it goes. Did they ever recover and find out what was in it? Yeah, they did. They were very they didn't release much to us in the media other than it was using an American ISP, internet service provider. They didn't say too much, though. I wonder why the FAA doesn't put the balloon into ADSB exchange. Well, so ADSB exchange, for example, I could launch a balloon, because that's what I was getting ready to go into. You could launch a balloon, and you can attach an ADSB transmitter to it. The thing is, if it doesn't have a transmitter to it, then you can't really, you can't really track something like that. It doesn't have, it's not transmitting on, I think it's the 1100 megahertz or whatever it is. Russia and China are scared to come to the U.S. and attack us because we have so much advantage, like the mountains. Mountains are a plus. Oh, FAA does have ground stations. NORAD has ground stations as well. But that stuff's not fully public, you know. They'll keep that under the vest. Well, Mojo's mad. Mojo got proved wrong yesterday with the whole AT&T issue. He was trying to say that the outage was a cyber attack, and then I proved him wrong about that. So he's a little salty in chat, guys. My apologies for Mojo being a bit salty. I see a Florida man using it as practice. See, guys, that's what he does. It's a hazard for air traffic. So most air traffic is at 35,000 feet or below, 40 at max. This thing's at 43, 45,000. If it starts dropping in altitude, it's going to be in the path of all these planes. If this balloon starts to drop, it could get sucked into a plane and take down an entire plane full of people. That's a big concern. It's not like, oh, hey, it may not even get that high. No, it's higher than that. And it could come down, and by the time it starts falling, if it falls rapidly, you could get sucked into a plane and take down an entire plane full of people. See, guys, he's on some weird... Woohoo! Mr. Mojo. Mr. Mojo, you need help over there, buddy? It is presumed to have gone through California. It is presumed to have gone through California, yes. How is the FAA okay with the balloon? They are. They are. They are okay with it. My concern is this. My concern is that there's no official tracking on it. They don't know whose it is. What if there's a leak in the Mylar? Yes, Montauk, yes. Yes, we are. My concern is this. My concern is that it's already higher and above commercial air traffic, okay? And if planes fly here, okay, if planes fly here, and you have a balloon here, what's going to happen is if it starts to drop suddenly, they don't have tracking on this, and all of a sudden a plane comes, it's going to pick up this 2-pound payload, or this 2 cubic foot payload, whatever's inside of it, this Mylar balloon. It's going to get stuck in an engine, possibly take out the right engine of an A320 that only has 2 engines, and God only knows what, or it gets stuck in the rudder. You can take down a whole airplane. You know? Camcorder goes, I think they know way more than they let on. Oh, they most likely do. They're only going to release a little bit of information. They're only going to release a little bit of information. A little tiny bit. Look at the space. That's the space station behind me. It's absolutely beautiful. The International Space Station is so beautiful. But you guys, go on my last video, which is the balloon video. Go on my last video and hit the share button on it, because TikTok is trying to keep it hush-hush. You probably haven't seen any other videos about it. TikTok is actively trying to keep this hush-hush. And they're a Chinese company. They're a China company. So think about that. Also, tap the follow button if you're new here. I go live on YouTube like right now. Tap the subscribe button. It's free. Follow on TikTok's free, and subscribe on YouTube is free. Cammy goes, phones yesterday, now balloons today. What is going on? China. China. Thank you, Dave and Liz Miller, for the hand hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you, Landon. Much appreciated. Timmy joined in from the video. Yeah, so, Kristen, good news. The rover has landed on the moon. It landed, and they have a heartbeat from it, so that is all good. That is all good. I love your live so much, bro. Thank you, Landon. Much appreciated. Thank you, Grace. So, right now, what you have to be concerned about is, one, if this jet stream starts to dig deeper, it could knock the balloon off from its 43 to 45,000 foot altitude, possibly down into the 30,000 foot, which could definitely pose a risk to air traffic control. And like I was saying, you know, this is going to dig south. That jet stream's digging south from Oklahoma down through Arkansas into Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia. I guess there's some like super grainy and pixelated footage of the landing. Think that's the last we heard from it. I was looking at Astrobotics. I don't know if Astrobotics is going to be around much longer. They were supposed to beat this company to the moon, and it didn't happen. So, yikes. MCR44, any updates as to the outage of wireless? Yeah, and it was a routing issue. It was an internal issue through AT&T, and with the peering matter, it bled over into T-Mobile, Verizon, and a lot of others. So that's all. That is all that was. Is that the footage that we were waiting for it to be released? Yeah. Yeah, it was supposed to be a lot more clear, and then it was terrible, and I think what happened is they landed, I think they faced the butt of it to the earth instead of the front of it. So that's why they didn't run. That's why they ran into those issues that they did. When did it go through California? Within the past couple days. In before Abbott calls it an illegal invader and pops the Mylar with his Colt 45. You dang nabbit, China! Boo! I could totally picture Abbott doing that from his wheelchair. It looked like a soft tortilla. Oh my. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to think of this. I don't know what to think of this. I don't know how the FAA is okay with it. I don't know how any of this is okay. I truly don't. I don't see how they're okay with this. Deemed not a threat to air traffic. Deemed not a threat to air traffic. Can you believe that? 4 hours ago, U.S. is tracking a high-altitude balloon flying over the western part of the country. U.S. officials told CBS News military aircraft spotted the balloon and determined it is not a threat, but its origin and purpose is still unknown. The balloon is drifting east in the jet stream. Yeah, 26-year-old, not an American citizen. There's a lot happening. Because the people don't know yet. I reposted your video. Thank you, Grace, for the reposting of the video. Much appreciated. I can't talk on ham radio, but this is okay. Well, if you have a license, you can talk on ham. I have a license. I'm just so tired of living under so many stressful things. Can't we just get a year? It's insane. Has Biden stepped up and made a speech about it? No, there's no speech made about it. There is no. Well, you guys can see here, Shoot It Down is trending on Twitter. Shoot It Down, and Joe Biden and Alex Jones are the recommended accounts here. Shoot It Down is trending on Twitter. Joe Biden and Alex Jones are trending for those accounts. Shoot it down now. Every time. It shouldn't even make it to U.S. soil. I'll shoot it down, Mr. President. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I agree, Jen. I agree. We have a lot of missiles that are going to waste right now. Here we go again. Is Biden going to wait until it's done spying to shoot it down, or will he stop allowing foreign enemies to spy on American military bases? That's the one from South Carolina, I believe. We will probably wait until it's over the Atlantic Ocean before we shoot it down. Again. Yeah, you know, God only knows what it's seen by now. Target practice. Exactly. Christy Nome, shoot it down. Protect our country. This guy, shoot it down is trending because the only American response to the unknown is to get really scared and grab some guns. It's what the founding fathers intended. Huh? What, buddy? All I'm saying is you better ammo up. We're going to be every man for himself real soon. This would not happen if Trump was in office. NORAD spots danger flying over the country. Plans are to shoot it down with... Oh, God. See, everyone always... Like this. Always wanting to scream MAGA. When you involve any sort of military or gun, they want to scream MAGA Republicans. Last one got frozen and was unable to be properly retrieved, so shoot it down. Professionals not scared of their own shadow, figuring out if it has chemical weapon, radioactive material, bombs, mines, dangerous shrapnel, and need to shoot it down over an unpopulated area to size. What the hell did we just watch? The hell, why? Slingshot Biden at it. Veronica goes, it's Trump's balloon. Jen goes, I'm not a MAGA nor a Trump, but I'm sure as hell not a Biden supporter, so get rid of the balloon. Since Jill has already put Biden to bed and there's a direct threat of another Chinese spy balloon over our homeland, I'm giving the U.S. Air Force the go-ahead to shoot it down. Bang, bang. The only way to survive an attack from a drone if you... Oh, that's back on the 19th there. Oh, God. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah. It's just a birthday balloon. Just about the right size for some McD's. McDonald's! Oh, McDonald's sounds good. McDonald's sounds good. It actually really does sound good right now. I'd totally be okay with some McDonald's right about now. Another balloon? Armed with what? From where? Shoot it down. That's gotta be photoshopped. This has to be photoshopped.
Shanga Kawawa and Joan Shingang.
I was gonna say, how did they get crystal clear footage? This is from that last one. Was there actually a camera on it?
Kawawa.
Because that looks to be some nice After Effects VFX, but I don't know. Ask them if they have a license. But why don't we get to here until it's Colorado? Like, we only fully get coverage. Yeah, we found out today about it. I don't get it, guys. I do not get it whatsoever. But I just wanted to give you guys an update here as to what's going on. Just really wanted to give you an update. I know a lot of people were in the comments talking about it, and this will get some discussion going as well. But, again, I appreciate all the support, people. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I think we have a space launch on tomorrow, on the 24th. So we have a space launch tomorrow with SpaceX. So that's going to be awesome. And in 6 days, we're launching more people from Kennedy Space Center out of Florida at Cape Canaveral. And, yeah, we'll be live with that tomorrow at 4:59 p.m. So, yeah, we'll be live tomorrow with that. Imagine if a turtle eats that thing. Crazy gender reveal balloon. Oh, my. So, you don't get it, and this is what you do, which is nuts. So, yeah. This is what we had going on today with this whole hello cat video, but this is what we had going on today. Good old fighter jets being scrambled. But I appreciate everyone. Be sure to tap that follow button. Leave any comments down below in my balloon video. Again, I appreciate all of you. Thank you all. Have a good night.